in response to my call of people, in response to my call of people volunteering, that is, I had requested that people are welcome to volunteer for this National Adi Shankara mission. Few people asked me what specifically can they do. I'm going to try to sort of very quickly take you through this. What we are envisaging is to build a not-for-profit company. Okay, and basically it's a company which will be charged with doing this research and with people there, a not-for-profit company, and we need people who can volunteer in pretty much any position. You see, we cannot run a a company like it is done in industry by hiring full-time executives for, say, accounting or for HR or for legal. We need people in the legal field or in marketing. Believe me, even in sales, a lot of computer work, tremendous amount of computer work. So we need to staff these positions within this company with people who, that is retired executives, people who have held positions, right, in companies. And we also need those who may have, have actually been people who, execute things. So we need leaders in various disciplines. And we also need, sort of task specialists, people who, for example, if you're really good with accounting, right, and you know how to, make the entries and prepare the statements, etc., which we can then provide to our auditors. Lo and behold, if you're retired and you have the skills to do it, most welcome to do it for us, no matter where you are. Or on the other hand, if you are, working but you have some spare time on the weekends or whenever, or the evenings, and you're willing to spend some time working, volunteering and working with us, you're most welcome to do so. So I will just tell you about positions very briefly. It's not very well organized. There's a reason I did not organize it that way. So I'll just come to it one by one. Okay, so the first thing I would like to say is that we need language experts, people who know Sanskrit and Malayalam well. Well means you should be able to read, write, Sanskrit and Malayalam, and you should have some level of, knowledge in Malayalam and also independently in Sanskrit. Meaning, we're not expecting people to know both Sanskrit and Malayalam. So some people who know Malayalam, some people who know Sanskrit, and the role of these people, for example, those who know Malayalam, we want them to go through various literature. There is a lot of literature in Kerala, which is in Malayalam, which is written about Shankara. An example, as I have said in some videos, is the book on Sri Shankaracharya, written by Dr. K. Kunjani Raja. We want people to read these texts or these books. We want them to summarize it for us, right, in English, and sections which are required for actually our research work. We want them to actually give it to us in a way in which we can, sort of incorporate it into our proposals or our research reports or, those kind or papers, those kind of documents. Same equivalent work in Sanskrit. There are many Sanskrit texts from Kerala connected to Shankara, Sri Shankara, and we want people to analyze them for us. So these are people who would be willing to prepare these summaries for us, send them to us, and those sections of the book that are important, which we want to say summarize in one or two 12 lines, either as a quotation or in a way in which it is written in independent, that is in your own words, so that it will not amount to plagiarism, and we can actually incorporate it into research reports or research papers. Those who actually contribute significantly, we will definitely include their name in research papers and research reports. Okay, so this is one group of people that we require. Now, I'm just saying giving you in a random fashion because I don't know how much time people will have to really hear this. So we need volunteers in various supporting functions. So, for example, in the case of marketing, we particularly need people. Okay, and the reason is we have to spread the word, and we have to get people involved across the globe. And for that reason, we really need to market, and we also need to sell ourselves. So people who are familiar with web design, with creating videos, graphic design, that is brochures, flyers, infographics, etc. Those who are in digital marketing, basically marketing, posting, making ads, etc. Those who actually have the skills to do data mining, because we need collect a lot of data of people who are interested in this kind of a project, and actually make them aware of this project, because there are people out there who are interested, but we are not aware of them, and they are not aware about us. Then people who actually upload material to the website that has been created. We want somebody to create a website. We want somebody to actually, maintain the website, meaning the technical aspects of maintaining it, but also somebody who actually uploads materials and keeps the website fresh, and sort of it doesn't become dated, right? And we want people to actually write blogs for us, right? And so these are the kind of things in the digital marketing space. Okay. Then if you are somebody who retired as a salesperson, let's say from a top IT firm, right? And you have time on your hands, right? Come join us, right? Because we want to, and I'm not restricting it to only IT firms. You could be from a company that actually manufactures engineering equipment, or engineering products, any kind of product, food products, whatever it is. Those who have been in the sales end, we need people who can go to philanthropists, who can go to foundations, institutions, and companies, and actually place the value propositions, okay, about this project in front of the people who will fund us, right? And we want people of that caliber, right? We want executives, meaning people who have actually worked in the trenches in preparation of various kind of materials, right? So whether it be legal briefs, proposals, permission applications to government bodies, and people who can independently manage correspondence with these various agencies, because there will be letters flying up and down, and obviously they may seek input from these leaders, but the correspondence will have to be done independently by these executives. We need people for in the accounting area, executives in the accounting area, in the administration area, legal area, right? I mean, retired, those who are retired lawyers, right? Who you worked, let's say, in corporate law, you worked with the civil law and other kinds of law. You're most welcome to any kind of law, actually. You're welcome to join us, because there are obviously legal aspects of a project like this. And then we are looking for leadership, people in administrative roles, leaders, leader for administration, and we are looking for people who are admin support, because there's a lot of admin work, right, in this particular project. And camp coordinator, basically we need somebody who can run our excavation camps, right? Things like that, right? And the reason I specifically put this in, because if I don't know at what point people get bored and get turned off. So there's a lot more, right? For example, if you're an archaeologist retired from ASI or State Archaeology Department, or if you're a retired professor, and you have some time on your hands, come, guide us, work with us in any one of these areas, right? Related to Indology or archaeology, whether it's epigraphy, iconography, temple architecture, people who really have got a lot of expertise in excavation. And the role would be to collaborate primarily on research papers remotely from their homes, right? And they would, obviously review the relevant literature, prepare summary documents, and provide inputs. And we would basically have a collaboration process with them, where we jointly write papers. We need on-site excavation specialists, people who really know excavation in and out, right? We need people like that, who can get involved in everything from planning to writing for permissions, supervising the excavation at site, analysis of data, interpretation, preparation of final reports. We need people like that, right? Those who have done this. And there must be dozens of people who from ASI and the State Archaeology Department, right? For excavation, we would need volunteers and we would need interns. volunteers who are interested in actually helping at site, working to supervise the labor and also working alongside the labor in cleaning the artifacts, analyzing the artifacts, sketching the artifacts and things like that, photographing the artifacts. For all that kind of work, we need volunteers at site, right? And those would be positions. If you can do 1 month, 2 months, 3 months at site, you're welcome to do so. We need a lot of documentation assistance, right? People who really can prepare proposals, applications, reports, research papers, and presentations. See, in this case, you know, these people may not be able to independently prepare it. So if you have got good skills with typing, PowerPoint, Word, right, with PowerPoint, with Excel, etc. If you're really good with that and you like preparing various documents, right, we will give you the written input, handwritten or recorded or whatever, and we would appreciate it if you can help us prepare the various documentation that is required. And we need continuous documentation in this project. Now, if those who are, very, there are, I mean, I have come across and actually worked with people who are very good with data mining, on the internet, and also looking at books, on the internet, and actually gathering. If you tell them, gather this particular piece of information, because we need to look, we need to, review that information and incorporate it into our research. There are good people who, who actually do this data mining on the web, so we are interested in people like that. There are other kind of positions as well, right? I'm just giving you an introduction. It's basically an archaeological and indological research project. And there is a spiritual aspect as well, right? That I have mentioned before, because we are basically going and finding places associated with Bhagavad Pada Sri Shankara, who is considered, incarnation of Ishvara. But for us to succeed, the project has to be extremely well planned, it has to be sustained, and it has to be extremely well managed. So, sustained meaning we need people, we need resources, etc., in order to keep this project up and running and make it successful. And we need people, right, to manage this. Therefore, those who have retired executives, right? You have time. If let's say you have led the marketing function in a company, either the physical marketing or the digital marketing, or if you're a salesperson or a sales manager or a sales director at some in one of these companies who are retired, if you are manager of administration, if you are head of legal, head of HR, if you have worked in a lot of government liaison, okay, those who have actually dealt with, there are people who actually work with, whether if you're in a publisher or if you're in a, if you're in a software company or if you are in, companies that actually make, laboratory equipment, etc. You have a tendency to reach out to a lot of universities. So those who have experience in university outreach, you are welcome to work with us. And I've already said, if you have specific skills in each one of these areas, as I said, digital marketing, web design, whatever, right? If you are a legal specialist, right, and you're welcome to work with us. So not only leaders, we need people who can actually execute and get things done, right? So these leadership roles, are essentially honorary, right? We need a person to take charge of this operation, right? We need somebody who has been, let's say, who has run an NGO or some other company, right? And who is, interested in running the organization on a day-to-day basis, right? Basically, a director of operations, something like that, right? So we need somebody like that who can take over this organization and run this organization. Likewise, we need people who are, who are who who have experience in running sales, experience in running marketing, right? We need people, and I've told you, we need people in university outreach, government liaison, legal, admin, HR, etc., etc. So we need a complete organization, and they're thinking that there may be most of these positions will be part-time honorary positions, because the workload will not be, a full-time workload. It may be a part-time workload, but we want these people to be involved in working with us, right? So I made a sort of a, you know rough organization chart where, there will be an executive director who will head up this organization, right? And there will be a the director of operations. The director of operations will essentially run the entire organization, barring the archaeological piece. The archaeological piece will be run by the executive director, the director of archaeology, a senior retired archaeologist who has a lot of experience in excavation and in the field. So he will be the director of archaeology. And then I expect to have junior archaeologists, interns, volunteers, literature review people, documentation specialists. So there will be the technical or the archaeological excavation, exploration, that aspect will entirely be under the purview of the executive director, the director, and they will essentially run this part of the organization. The rest of the organization will be run by the director of operations with the oversight of the executive director. Just oversight, because we would really like somebody to independently take charge of the organization and run it. And want to have people at various positions who are handling sales, marketing, outreach, university outreach, government, admin, HR, accounts, legal, and people below them, right? Those who actually will be doing sales managers, who will go and put these proposals. I really expect those sales managers out there who have, who retired and who have a passion for selling to come and say, okay, let me take this proposal, spend some time. And, if we have people in various states, great, because, you can go and work in various states and do various things for us. So that is the kind of organization that, I envisage. You have our contact details, search for Shankara at gmail.com, and you have a telephone number. If any of you are interested in volunteering, just send us a mail, or, what, even better, just pick up the phone, call us, or send us a WhatsApp message, etc. We'll be happy to, sort of talk with you and see how you can join our organization. Thank you very much.